Hello and welcome to the Femina and Grazia Fashion First virtual fashion event. I'm Ruchika Mehta, the editor of Femina magazine, and I'm here today for a chat with a very interesting, young, dynamic, and extremely talented designer, the famous Masaba Gupta. Hello, Masaba, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Ruchika. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking time. Thank you for being here. You're one of our very special guests at the event, and we are absolutely honored to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let me start, Masaba, because in my mind, there is a Masaba Gupta who's a designer, and there is a Masaba Gupta who is that influencer. And then now there is the Masaba Gupta who's a gorgeous actress.
Oh, there's three Masabas. I thought there were just two.
Masaba, we've discovered another one in you very lately, and congratulations on the success of Masaba Masaba, the fabulous Netflix series that just came out.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, which Masaba is the girl sitting across me, connecting herself, rather identifying herself most with right now?
I have to say there's a fourth Masaba. Sorry to break it to you, but I think I identify most with when I'm home in my comfort zone, when I'm with my family, with my loved ones, and I think that's the Masaba I identify with. I always say that I have different versions and different ways of presenting myself when I'm a designer, when I'm acting, or when I'm doing influential stuff. But I think I identify most with this version and fashion. I think the designer, because that's my baby. I mean, I started off from that, and it'll always be a big part of who I am.
So it's the so this is the girl next door.
Yes, hopefully.
So the fourth Masaba, which I would like to know better going forward. Lovely Masaba. And one can always relate that with you. There's always that warmth that you exude, and there's always that love connect which one always has with you, whether it's on a phone or whatever. Let's start with you being the designer. Your designs are unique, they are quirky, they are fun, they are young, and they are, something what I used to say every time, everywhere. Your designs kind of spell that thing. When you started off as a designer, there was a clutter in the industry. There were all kinds of designers already. What did you have in mind when you were starting off? What did you have to want to design, and who did you want to design for?
When I started off, I remember design and designer wear used to be very aspirational to an extent that you felt kind of intimidated by it.
Right.
It was like as a lay person, you couldn't touch it or feel it. It was reserved for a big occasion. You only entered a designer showroom if you had to buy something for a special occasion, mostly bridal wear. And I think for me, and I used to go to all these shows. I was actually an usher at Lakme Fashion Week once.
Wow.
And I was in charge of seating people years back. And I remember watching these shows, and I just didn't feel any connect to the clothing, because firstly, I felt like it was very far away from me. I looked up to it, but I didn't feel like I wanted to be a part of this universe. And I just wondered, why wouldn't someone show a plain white shirt on a runway, or
Right.
a really well-fitted pair of pants on a runway? Why does everything have to be opulent and over the top? And I knew that there was a little gap in the market with respect to designer wear becoming everyday wear. And I think for me, that became very clear that if I do design, if I have my own label, I will do ready to wear. It will be affordable. It will be something that it's not seasonal. It transcends time. It's not something you have to wear for a particular time of the year. You can wear it anytime and anywhere in the world. So I think that was the idea when I started the label. But my eyes were focused on being affordable, because I think what's the point of everybody wanting a piece of you if they can't have it, So that was the single intention when I started my label. And I think it served me well.
I think you were bang on, literally. So if I may rephrase it, you kind of broke the mold of those halo presents and said, come on, designer way can be fun. It doesn't have to be so stiff.
Yeah.
With it. Lovely. And I think you've kind of redefined the whole, like you just said, you've redefined designer wear. It's not just the untouchable anymore, it's made it. That's what we say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that as a young person, I think the youths of this country always felt detached from designer wear because it was, oh, save up your money and then one day you can afford that one lehenga. I didn't want fashion to be about that. I think I like to say that, the democratization of fashion was very important. And I think that's where we are today.
Great. So I was just going to come to that for my next question is your connect with the youth is immeasurable. It's immense. I mean, whether you go on your Instagram and see who is the one who's following you, your connect is very strong. I figured out because you made designer wear accessible. Is there anything else that you say you connect with the youth very strongly with? What is that one other thing besides uh, giving them designer wear on a platter?
I think, and I've been told this, I hope it's true, but it's probably because I'm very honest in my communication. I use my social media as a tool to talk to youngsters out there
Yeah.
and talk to them in a very unfiltered, casual manner, and that's how I think they probably connect. Plus, I think they've seen me. I've been written about for many years as a child because of my parents. So I think everyone's kind of seen me grow, and they feel like they've been a part of my growing up years. So I think that's why probably they have this connect. And most importantly, uh, I never go out with the intention or with the idea that my consumer is a fool. I think it's very important, and that shows in a designer in a designer brand where you feel like you can just pass off anything as luxury or ready to wear or whatever. I think I'm very honest in that sense that I understand my consumer is very smart. They're probably smarter than I am, and that they deserve good products. So I think people see that, and I think the clothes are playful. I'm shy, but I have this reputation of being playful as well. So I think that's probably why they connect with me.
Of course. In fact, if it was a few years ago, sorry, that I was talking to you, I would have introduced you as the daughter of Veena Gupta. But I'm
Yes.
not, I don't need to do that anymore. Today, I'm proud to introduce Masaba as the Masaba from the House of Masaba. You spoke about your parents, so I brought this up,
Thank you so much.
which probably really is it's remarkable. Your journey has been remarkable. Your journey has been inspirational, and you have so much to share. So coming back to that, Ms. Abha, tell us, you have kind of created a brand out of your brand, and you created a brand out of yourself also. Tell us a bit about this packaging and marketing of the House of Masaba and Masaba Gupta.
So, I always like to say that House of Masaba and Masaba Gupta are actually two very different people. I think I and I prefer it that way, and I constantly try to keep making that divide because I feel like a brand should float on its own. A
Right.
brand shouldn't be tied to a particular person or an idea. It should be ever evolving. It should be fluid. And as much as I am the spokesperson for it, I think that it's something that I want to always have function as an independent entity. I think with House of Masaba, it's been a very interesting journey because we were a brand built on social media. And I have to say that whatever we've built is because people have really lapped it up. And
Right.
I think marketing to me is nothing but just a whole lot of things working together for you at the same time, be it luck, be it, having celebrities wear your clothes who people identify with, be it making a certain kind of design or an aesthetic popular at a time when, people really need it. So I think we got very lucky with House of Masaba's marketing. We don't spend money on marketing. We just, which I'm very proud of. We literally just it's organic, whatever's happening. We do really fun campaigns. We have real women in our campaigns, and that's how House of Masaba just became a household story for everybody. Masaba the person, I think, has literally, I treat House of Masaba as like my rocket launcher. It's just, it's like one of those things where I've just taken off from it, and I think it's actually catapulted me into a completely different universe. I don't think the show would have happened if it weren't for the brand's popularity.
Yeah.
And I don't think House of Masaba would have been where it is because of who I have built myself to be as well. So the beauties, they both feed off each other. But like I said, at no point are we trying to be dishonest or, be over smart in our communication. And I think that's what works.
Great. Coming back to your show, Masaba, tell us about the experience. I mean, everybody's seen the show. I don't need to talk much about it. But just let's touch on any interesting anecdotes. How did the show come about? And did you just lap it up, or did you have any thoughts about going on screen?
I was so excited. I
Wow.
mean, it was like living my dream because I remember I wanted to act when I was 14.
Because
And
you've
I
grown
just,
up seeing your mom act.
yeah, and I was always in these little vanity vans and, on set. And I think for a girl, that's everything. It's like struck by the glamour of it. And then she, of course, to my mom said, don't act because you get put into a stereotype and all of those things. And I said, sure, maybe the time wasn't right, which it definitely wasn't back then. And our show's producer, Ashwini Yardi, actually came to me and she said, listen, I love your Instagram and I think it's so much fun. We could make a show out of it.
Wow.
So that's how it happened. I met her and I thought it's going to be a reality show. So I said, are you going to have cameras following me around into my bathroom and stuff like that? So she said no. Because I said that's not something I do because I really like being private in my own way. And next thing we know, we said, okay, this is a great idea. It's going to be a mockumentary. It's going to be fiction and reality mixed together. You guys play yourselves. Everyone else is an actor who's been cast, inspired by a real life person. I thought it's path breaking for Indian platforms.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to do something different. I was in that phase where I said, you know what? I understand design. I know it. I can always, it will always keep happening. But I said, I really want to push myself and try something new. And here I was on screen and I was on set and I haven't been happier being anywhere but on a set for a really long time. So I clearly enjoy it.
No, it's been absolutely path-breaking. It's been breaking the charts, not just path
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
been breaking the charts as well. I personally enjoyed watching it a lot.
Thank you.
It was fun. Masaba, coming back to your fashion, I think you broke the rules. You went against the tide, and you made you made size a very comfortable thing for every woman. Your clothes were all about being comfortable in the skin. And that is when I think this whole ideology about size zero and being you can only be fashionable if you have the most perfect body was kind of
Sorry, Ruchika, you're breaking up. I got you in bits and pieces there.
sorry. Let me repeat my
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Okay. So coming back to, I said, Masaba, coming back to fashion and your clothes, you changed the rules of the game very drastically. You made size a very important thing, and you made size the epicenter of fashion rather than just being size zero. So you try to tell every girl out there that listen, you don't have to be the most perfect body to look fashionable. That was probably, I think, the defining point for your brand. How did that awakening or how did that come about? I mean, fashion is always all about just being perfect.
I think it came from me personally because I got so tired of feeling, not feeling good about fashion, about feeling like you needed to be a certain size to enjoy wearing the clothes, or that you needed to be a certain height to wear certain things, or the fact that, sample sizes are so damn small. I just got so tired of it. Myself because I'm a big girl, I'm a curvy girl, and I also have my mom in my house who was a very active part of the label when it started, and she said that women have tummies and sometimes they have arms and they have thighs and they have hips and your body is not going to be the same, so you have to
One of
design
those.
so you have to design keeping real people in mind. And having said that, I think what's happened today is that people think models are not real people. I really want to say this. They're also real people. They just happen to be skinny, and some people are on the curvier or the heavier side, and I think every body is beautiful in its own way.
Right.
So I just got tired of being intimidated by it, and I said, if I'm going to do this, and that's when we started using plus size girls in campaigns. I started using women who are 60 and 70 years old in campaigns, but putting them in modern clothing as well, like ready to wear instead of just saris. So I just changed the narrative around, and I said also younger girls need to be in saris, because young girls in India, they prefer a gown over a sari, which I find bizarre, given that the sari is a very, very sensual garment. It's a
Right.
sexy garment. It's classy. It's actually made for an Indian woman's body. And I just thought that if I don't change the narrative, fashion will continue to be just like a pipe dream for people. And yeah, so it was personal. I think I just got so offended by it that I decided to change it.
And I think it worked. It worked wonderfully. And that's when the youth started identifying even more with you.
Hmm.
Masaba, you're also kind of today identified very strongly with body positivity. You
With,
know,
sorry?
body positivity.
Body positivity, right.
And
Right.
that, I think that is something so fabulous for a designer to kind of exude that whole narrative in her own clothes. What does body positivity mean to you?
I think first up, body positivity to me means not being judgmental. I think as women, we're to begin with very judgmental of other women's bodies. And that means being extremely jealous of someone who has a six pack, or a woman who's just given birth and has gone back to shape. We're jealous of that sometimes. And we judge women who are sometimes very heavy in their pregnancy and can't shed that weight as well. Or just a regular person who has scars, or who doesn't have a perfect body, or who doesn't dress the way you seem fit. So I think for me, body positivity is firstly about accepting yourself, because I really feel
Right.
like if you don't love yourself and accept yourself the way you are, you won't have room for doing that for other people. And I think what we try and do is we jump the gun. We forget about ourselves and we try and say, you know what, that woman is really cute, beautiful looking, but I don't feel so good. You know what I mean? So I think that's the issue. So I think it comes from yourself. You have to first accept yourself the way you are. And I think for me, body positivity means that we're not trying to do this as a gimmick. The idea of using bigger models, the idea of um, suddenly using dark-skinned girls everywhere. Um, I don't. I just hope it's not a gimmick. You don't have to do it
True.
as a gimmick. It's not a marketing trick. It
It's
should
here
be
to
a
stay.
serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should be a serious change in the way you think.
Right.
And that to me is body positivity. That you're not doing it because the trend is let's put a dark skinned girl on a cover and put her in no makeup. The idea is to make that the norm, but have enough space for everybody. You have fair skinned girls can be on covers, dark skinned girls, British girls. Everybody should get their moment in the sun. And I think that's what body positivity to me is. It's everyone's moment in the sun.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Uh, Sabe, today you're one of the few designers who can, boast of a number of corporate tie-ups, number of tie-ups beyond launching a label, Puma, Fiamma, Titan, Nike, all the top brands, Shandong, all the top brands have come to tie up with you. Where does that, this corporate tie-ups and all, how does this all come about? How do, I mean, while designing for young kids and these corporates coming to tie, and how did this whole thing tie rather? Probably you
Uh,
have a maximum number of tie-ups amongst all the designers.
Yeah, I think we do. I've lost track
Yes,
now how many,
I was
but
tracking them a bit.
yeah, yeah. So I, the thing is, brands, and I discovered this, with, say, for example, a Titan, which came to me with these, and I said, wow, you want me to design watches? I have a very quirky aesthetic. I have very, it's very bold. And Titan Raga to me has always been a very sophisticated, elegant, clean brand. And they said to me, they said, you know what, we have a whole new young consumer out there who actually wants a whole different set of watches. And because they treat their watches pretty much like jewelry. So that's how I figured that
Right.
most brands come to me to reach out to a new set of a consumer, one that they probably yet haven't tapped into, or they are trying to figure out, or they want eyeballs from that generation of people who they haven't. Because the thing is, all of these brands are institutional in their own way,
Right.
except for a few of the newer ones that have come up. But I just think that these brands have solidified their ideology, their aesthetic, and they have a very loyal consumer base. But how do you get the next lot that's now making their own money, that's now, has their own taste, is not influenced by their parents' taste? I think that's why they come to me, and I think it's a perfect marriage because they piggyback on my connect with the youth, and I piggyback on the experience, and it's the absolute best way of doing something, I think.
And for all our viewers out there who are watching this, to just let you know, there's this little girl who's the girl next door, and that little influencer has also corporatized her brand. She's also got a lot of funding from some very solid investors. So she is really on a path up there. And congratulations for all that, Masaba.
Thank you so much.
And for all those who didn't know about it. um, So, Masaba, you have been there, done that, and today you're a very established name in the fashion industry. What advice would you give to somebody who's entering the fashion industry and wants to be a Masaba Gupta?
I would say, firstly, don't ever try and be a part of any industry. I think it corrupts you. Trying to keep up with people, trying to be a part of a rat race. I know it's easier said than done. I tried it myself for the first 2-3 years, but it's exhausting and it really takes your eyes away from the focus. The
Right.
focus should always be on creating good product, quality over quantity, something that finds its a place in people's homes, wardrobes, whatever it is, for life. I think that's very important. And please have a really, really strong business acumen, or hire someone who has one. Because I think a lot of the times we see brands fail because there's one creative person trying to do everything. Please understand that as creative people, our bandwidth is very limited. We can't do everything. We have to preserve our minds, our creative souls, to create stuff. So please don't try and do everything. Please understand that running a brand is a lot of work. So delegate, hire good people, trust good people, and learn how to just share responsibility. I think I also tried to do things myself for the first 5 years, and I really failed miserably at it. I don't have a good grip on finance, but I have enough people taking care of that for me. So I think it's very important to understand what your strength is and not be apologetic for what your weakness is. I think a lot of creative people feel cornered because, there's some guy in some corporate office who comes and says, you don't understand numbers. Well, I understand numbers, but it's not my job to chase them. My job is to chase my art. So please chase your art. Let somebody else chase the numbers, I would say.
That's a very good and a very interesting piece of advice. And I do hope all of you sitting out there heard her, because it does take all of this to be a Masaba Gupta in the fashion industry. Masaba, will kind of just come to the end of the session. So one thing which I want to personally know, along with all my readers and viewers and everybody else, is what next for this girl who's been an actor, who's been a designer par excellence, who's been an influencer, who's been a brand in herself. What next?
Well, I would say nothing else this year. I'm really, like I said, it's the year of survival for all of us, this strange year. So I think the idea is to just kind of come out of it alive. I am taking it a bit easy because I've been a bit up and down with my health. So I'm just trying to go easy for the next 2 months. But what's next is that we're doing a lot of fun stuff at House of Masaba. We're launching a Diwali collection in 2 days. Which is really fun, and we'll keep launching new stuff. We have lots of new makeup coming with Nykaa. We just launched the nail paints as well, so we have a lot of that happening. And for me personally, I'm really enjoying this period because I'm reading a lot of stuff, a lot of scripts. and it's nice. I get to be like two different people in the day. I put on my entrepreneur hat at some point, and then I take it off, and then I become like this struggling actress. So I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I'm just having a lot of fun right now.
I don't think it's going to be struggling anymore.
No, it's fun. It's hard work, and I really want to say hats off to people who work in the movies. It's so much work. It trains you. So I have so much more respect for it now.
So, is there a movie in the offing?
Not yet, but hopefully next year at some point we should get to somewhere, but not right now.
We already see a mom's talent in you. She's one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you.
It's a very lethal combination in you on talent. We can.
Thank you. I should start playing some cricket at some point, I think. Why
Yes.
leave that out?
Sure, bring that out as well.
Yeah, I should probably try.
Trust, I promise you, if you try a hand at that, that's going to explode. You'll have so much in you.
I should. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Masaba, for taking time out. Masaba, thank you for being here. I really enjoyed talking to you. I'm sure you've been an inspiration to so many out there waiting to meet you, hear you, see you, and be what you are. Thank you for being here once again. Thank you, viewers, for watching this. And see you all on Femina.in. Keep watching. Many more exciting things happening at the Femina into Grazia Fashion First virtual fashion event. Thank you. See you soon.